Hey girl, welcome to On My Mark, your weekly transformational podcast designed to motivate, empower, and inspire to aspire. Yes, in that order. I am your host, Ravinbo C, and I'm a speaker by passion, philanthropist by purpose, and a Zimbabwean by tradition. I want to let you in on a little secret. This isn't your typical motivational podcast. This right here is transformational. So join me every Tuesday for your weekly dosage of inspiration. Hey girl, happy Tuesday to you out there. Hey guys, to all our male listeners too. Listen, people need to, I got a message from somebody that said, I really need some this was a guy. They said, I really need some motivation right now, but I can't even listen to Own My Mark. And then I said, why? And he said, because every time I turn it on, the first thing I hear is, hey girl. So I was like, okay, I have a solution to the problem. He said, what? I said, every time I call you and you pick up the phone, the first thing I'm going to say is, hey girl. And hopefully the more that I say it to you, the less you will hear it on the podcast. Or you could literally just skip the first 2-3 seconds. I mean, come on, guys. I hope everyone had a fabulous week. It's good to be back on another episode with you as we proceed to give you what you need. No, I'm joking. No, but seriously. I mean, we do need this weekly dosage of motivation, right? So I guess it makes sense in that respect. As we continue on our self-improvement season, today we're really gonna get into it. Here we go. Are we ready? Today's episode is titled, It All Starts with Self. S-E-L-F. Now, this is a concept that I adopted from Nikita B. So the S in self is for significance. What are the significance of the things you have in your life? The things that you're holding on to in your life? What is the significance of some of the relationships that you have, the connections that you have? Now, before we move forward, I posted a question on my social media pages. If you want to get involved in our Let's Connect segment and also share your thoughts on these questions, just follow me on Instagram. That's at Miss Ravimbo C. That's MS Ravimbo C. Or on Facebook, Ravimbo C, and Let's Connect. So the question that I posted was, what is the benefit of staying in a friendship or relationship that no longer serves you? Do I just drop them or Now, can I just say that this was the most fun that I've had during an episode recording, because some of the responses were really, really funny, and I posted most of the responses on my pages. And if you follow me, you would have you would have had a laugh with me as well, because it was actually so hilarious. So I'm just gonna read out one or two. Somebody said that no, don't drop the person. Just put them on the side, because you never know when you might need their help again. Unless you're talking of lovers, then, well, in that case, you need Jehovah the Comforter of your life. So in response to that, someone then commented and said, selfish much. And I was like, ooh, controversy. We need a live podcast up in here. So to add a bit of heat, I was like, selfish how? Question mark with the wide eyes open emoji thing. Then the person said, yes. If you keep relationships based on what you can get and you drop them when you feel they no longer serve you, means you are toxic. Oh, and even more dangerous when you decide to keep them around because you need them. So they went on back and forth with this little debate. But looking at all the overall responses that I did get, people were sort of 50-50. Half the people felt that if the relationship or the friendship no longer serves you, then yeah, you need to drop that and move on with your life. And other people were honest enough and said that they find it difficult to let go of people. They would rather just keep you on the side, keep tabs on you, and then maybe in future they can reconcile and reconnect with you. Fair enough. Then somebody said something interesting. They said that they won't drop the person, they won't drop the friendship or the relationship until it gets toxic. Then they will leave. And I was like, okay, so you mean that we should just stay until it gets toxic and then leave? So ignore all the signs, even when you can foresee that this is really not going well. Then, I mean, should we not just leave and avoid the whole pain of going through that whole traumatic experience of going through like a toxic relationship or a toxic friendship? Like, what do we do here? But just to sort of close up on that, I feel like some of these things are really person-centered. It boils back down to self, and I feel like we should all do what we can within our power, within our control, to work on ourselves, to work and evaluate where the basis of our beliefs are, the basis of our values are. Because when you work on yourself, then it makes it easier to accommodate other people in your life. Because if you don't have a sense of self and you haven't worked on you, then you want to then bring other people into the mix. It's like you're just carrying your own problems into somebody else's life. They're bringing their problems into your life, and then before you know it, yeah, those relationships just don't end up going anywhere. So yeah, as we were saying, the S is for significance. What is the significance of some of those thoughts and memories that you're holding on to? Are they serving a purpose in your life, or do they do something to you? Or do they do something for you? Your thoughts become things in your life. Your thoughts become things. Let that sink in for a second. Your thoughts become things in your life. So I was really trying to assess my own life, and I was like, there are some thoughts or moments in my psyche that I am holding on to and I haven't let go of. If so, then why? Because at times I feel we don't realize how much we actively and consciously have to unlearn and reprogram specific things in our minds before you can see the change transcend in your behavior and in your life. I specifically use the word reprogram because I was reading about cognitive distortions and mental fillers or mental filtering, right? So hear this. Cognitive distortions are simply ways that our mind convinces us of something that isn't really true. These inaccurate thoughts are usually used to reinforce negative thinking or emotions, telling ourselves things that sound rational and accurate but really only serve to keep us feeling bad about ourselves. Now, that sounds a lot, right? But there are actually different forms of cognitive distortions. And one of the most common one is mental filtering. Now, I've always experienced this, but I never knew it was actually a thing. And how do you work on something that you don't even know is there? Here's the interesting part. I bet so many of us listening right now have or do currently engage in mental filtering, but we don't even know it. A person engaging in filtering or mental filtering takes the negative details and magnifies those details while filtering out all positive aspects of a situation. For instance, let me break it down. A person may pick out a single unpleasant detail and dwell on it exclusively so that their vision of reality becomes so darkened or distorted. So they only see the negative and ignore anything that is positive. Okay. I have a question. Why is it that you can receive like 20 or 30 compliments in a day, right? Then there is that one negative comment that someone will say, and almost immediately you forget all the other 29 compliments and focus on the one negative thought that that person had said. Now you find yourself going out of your way to prove that one person wrong. But here's the thing. What happens the next time someone else then comes around and says something that you perceive to be negative? Are you going to keep going out of your way to prove a point to that person too? Before you know it, it's like your whole life is centered around accreditation, needing validation from everybody. Listen, validation is for parking, babes. Let's keep it moving. Another example, right, could be, let's say you just had an end of year meeting with your boss, and they've told you all the amazing things that you've done in that year. Then they mention constructive criticism on things that you can improve. Yeah, they mention like one or two things that you can improve. Now you walk away from that meeting and forget all the negative things that he said or she said, and you focus only on the one or two things they mentioned which you could have perceived as negative. So that is a mental filter where you have this tunnel vision where you focus on the one negative detail or one negative event or one negative thing that we did, and you're unable to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Now all of a sudden it's no longer, oh, I'm just having a bad day or I'm just having a bad moment. You categorize this to having a bad life. So a couple months down the line, every now and again, this event or moment replays back in your mind, and then you totally disregard all the other amazing days that you've been having, all the other great things you have going on in your life. That is why I asked you that, what is the significance of some of the thoughts and moments that you've been holding on to? Are they doing something for you, or are they doing something to you? Listen, it is so important to take time out and really take this in. Like, if you find yourself feeling sad or feeling down every time you think or remember a certain event or moment in your life, it means it's doing something to you. Don't feel bad about it. It takes time to reprogram our minds and thoughts, but it's very much possible if you are actively aware of it. Let's take a helicopter perspective. A helicopter allows you to see things at large. Now, by hovering above the situation, look at the bigger picture. How much you've grown as a person, all the great things you have going on in your life. Every time that moment or thought occurs, hop in your helicopter and zoom out. Look at the bigger picture. The more you can do this, the less that thought becomes significant. Listen, it's not that you're not growing as a person. It's what you're focusing on. Guys, do you see the power of the mind? The L in self is for love. Yes, if you are looking for that one person that could change your life, look in the mirror. Let's talk about self-love. In order to love yourself, you cannot hate the experience that shaped you. Loving yourself is more than just looking in the mirror and telling yourself that I love you. I mean, that's important too. Don't get me wrong. We all have been through experiences that have either hurt us or even broken us, bent us, but the ability to keep on keeping on despite that, that's love. The ability to not give up on yourself, that's love. The ability to accept that I am struggling with this, that's love. The ability to seek help when you need it the most, that's self-love. The ability to take a break and heal, that's self-love. The ability to wipe your tears away and look forward to better days, that's love. Listen, nobody has it all figured out. We are all battling different things in our daily lives, but as long as you wake up and are alive, you have the opportunity to keep loving you, because what's life without you present? Love you enough to accept that whatever experience you have been through, either pleasant or unpleasant, has shaped who you are today. Love you enough to let go, heal, and forgive. Yes, that brings us to F. The F in self is for forgiveness. A lot of us need to forgive ourselves for things that we have done in the past. Forgiving yourself is as important as forgiving others. Guilt is toxic, and reliving the mistake over and over and over again will keep you tied to the past. Whatever you've done before, accept it, let it go. You're not perfect. You are capable of making mistakes. I actually had to say this to myself the other day because I had a situation where the past came calling. Now, I'm not going to get into details, but I had a moment where I was in deep regret. And I was like, Revimbo, see, you should have never associated with this person or got involved in this person. Now look. And for a moment, I did feel bad. I won't lie. And I felt like this person or this situation, whatever, will always like haunt me or be brought up every time. But I had to quickly check myself. See, this is the benefit of not just listening to the podcast, but applying it to your life and putting things into action. I told myself there and then, I was like, I forgive myself for everything I have done in the past. My past does not determine my future. I am not a prisoner of my past. I let it go and I embrace my future, because what is mine will always be mine. Don't be trapped in the darkness of shattered memories. Let the light pass through and shine upon you. Forgive yourself, because it's the only way to start again. And with that said, learn to forgive others too, because if you don't, those painful thoughts and memories will always be tied to you. A part of growth and moving is to heal. And in order to fully heal, you need to forgive. Let's all strive to find the balance between not being stuck in the past, not projecting too much into the future, that you forget to find joy and peace in the presence. Remember, it all starts with self. Once again, I want to thank every single person that got involved in our Let's Connect. Like I said, look out for all the questions that we post on my social media, on Instagram, Miss Revimbo C, on Facebook, Revimbo C. I had so much fun with you guys' responses, and I just want to say, let's keep the same energy going. Remember, it all starts with self. I look forward to next week, Tuesday. Have a great week.
Join us again next week as we continue to transform and win. Be sure to subscribe on our website onmymark.co for weekly exclusives and giveaways. Until next time, on my mark, get set, let's go.